This is the cow camu. It's braised pork leg, which I learned in Chiang Mai. In fact, for 5 days straight, I ate this just to remember the flavors.
We heard that Chef Rhea Rizzo's well-loved Mrs. Saldo's restaurant in Silang, Cavite is now in Makati for a pop-up in Caravan Plaza. Opened a month ago, Chef Rhea has added some exciting dishes to the menu. I met Chef Rhea a couple years ago when I heard about this much-loved hidden restaurant in Silang, Cavite. But more than the flavors, it's her story that intrigued me most.
I'm French classically trained, and I started working in hotels and other restaurants, and then I realized, you know, that my kids needed me at the time. So I had to stop. My daughter with autism spectrum disorder, she's happy. For me, I think for any parent, right, you just really want your children to be happy.
But your story is so inspiring in such a way that, you know, a lot of us make sacrifices and we do things for our family, especially when you have children. And you did that and you still found your way back. Tell us how that happened for you.
Well, the story really was watching Netflix, and the episode was Gaggan. And for whatever reason, I felt connected to his story. So after the episode, I remember I was crying. So my husband Dave asked me, do you want to go back to the kitchen? And I said, yes, I want to go back. So he encouraged me to write him an email, and I did.
If you don't mind me asking, what did you write in the letter?
Well, I introduced myself. I told him that I'm already a mom, but I'm also classically trained. I work in restaurants and hotels. And I know that I'm not young anymore, and that his story resonated with me so much that I wanted to work for someone like him. So like after a week, I received a call from him, and I think it was such a blur. All I said was, yes, chef, I'll be there. And after a month, I flew before he can even change his mind.
Chef Gaggan Anand is a acclaimed chef known for his innovative and experimental approach to Indian cuisine. His restaurant Gaggan was named Asia's Best Restaurant 4 times by Asia's 50 Best Restaurants and achieved 2 Michelin stars.
How was that experience like for you?
Very good. I would say it's really one of the most challenging, emotionally, physically, mentally, but sometimes when you put yourself in this kind of situations and you know you finish it and you finish it well. What he shared before he even started the restaurant was the constant challenges, family, even professionally. So it kind of resonated with me in a way that he did not give up. Especially in this industry, it's a very hard industry. And I don't know, like for some reason his story just really touched something in me, and I wanted to like work for somebody who's like that, who's never given up.
Working with Gaggan introduced Chef Rhea to Southeast Asian flavors. And I remember that when I first ate at Mrs. Saldo's.
Oh wow. I love that kick. Sweet, spicy, and creamy. Oh, that's just perfect. It tastes very authentic, but the twist is in the smokiness of the prawn. It's really, you know, it adds to the elements of this dish. I love it.
This is our Thai fish curry. It's really one of our best sellers, and we serve it with peanut sauce on top. With again, just for texture, we added the fried shallots and with sticky rice.
Delicious Thai curry. Wow. Peanut butter, coconutty, creamy, and then the crunchiness of the shallots, and then the freshness of the seafood. This one reminds me of my trips because I do love Thai food, and this takes me back to being in Thailand. Delicious. This is very interesting. It's fried Renang donuts. The donuts are crispy because it's fried, crispy outside, then really, really tender inside.
In my experience, Tasting Chef Rhea's dishes felt like my palate was traveling, and after mastering Southeast Asian cuisines, it's great to hear that she's exploring and reinventing Philippine flavors.
For me, that was one of the most memorable, like, kansi I've ever had. And so I thought, like, okay, how do we elevate that, right? So we make the kansi broth traditionally, and then we braise it for a long time. Then we added demi-glace just to make it more, like, you know, elevated. And because I always like using French sauces, so then it becomes more concentrated. And then we serve that with the calamansi garlic schmaltz rice with crispy chicken skin on top.
I love kansi. That's good with the rice. The meat is so flavorful. I won't even I'll show you just how tender it is. I will not use a knife. Just falls off. It's so easy. See?
So I thought of, like, instead of sweet piaya, it's savory. So we make the humba pork, and then we serve it with a Xi'an sauce. So it's gonna be like more on the black vinegar side and soy sauce.
Bit dip. It's so flaky. This is so inventive, and I really liked it. I think I'm gonna crave this. You gotta try it. It's really good.
A lot of our guests now, they travel a lot. So they're more exposed to this kind of ingredients and techniques, right? So meaning I kind of have to, like, yeah, exactly, bring those memories back. I had a guest and she said to me, Rhea, they just left, like, Bacolod 2 days ago, and then they came here knowing that we have the inasal and the kansi, the piaya. So precisely what you said, like, they miss those flavors and then they come to me. I love learning.
Yes.
It's that continuous growth,
Yeah.
right? So I can fly to Southeast Asia again and start learning more about Indonesian cuisine or Malaysian cuisine. I think there's really something about constant learning. For me, it was not even the flavor, but it's how I felt after having that dish. And it wasn't, I don't think it was even a complicated dish, but it's how I felt after eating that.
Yes.
And it's the love, the attention, the care that we're, like, really given to that particular dish. And I remember, if I'm gonna cook for somebody, I want them to feel the exact same way that I did after eating that dish.
During our shoot, my producers told me that Chef Rhea was watching me from afar. I didn't even know it because I didn't see her. But that just proves how great chefs really observe, and it brings them joy seeing their guests enjoy what they've carefully crafted in their kitchen. At a young age, Chef Rhea already knew she wanted to be a chef. And along the way, there were some plot twists, but she still found her path.
My journey was not a straight line, but it led me to where I am now. Deep in our hearts, there's always this whisper of, like, what's your passion? What do you really want to do in life, right? And we can be held back by so many things. But for me, if I allowed fear to stop me from doing what I really wanted, like, I can't imagine, you know what I mean? Like, to not do something that I love because I was afraid of trying. Again, what's the worst thing that can happen? You fail, and then, you know what, maybe let's do an iteration. Let's look at it from a different approach, and then let's try. Let's just try until you really find the thing that works for you. For my son, he's thriving. I think, I would like to think he's proud of me. But for any parent, I really want to show him that even at my age, right, that I pursued something that I love. And I hope that will inspire him to be more courageous.
As I finished my meal in Mrs. Saldo's, I was reminded that it's never too late to follow your passion and purpose. Life might take you on an unexpected path. And yes, sometimes dreams may be put on hold, but the spark can still always ignite. Chef Rhea's story proves that setbacks do not define us. It actually can prepare us for something greater.